Today, I will talk about one of my favorite album, Kids See Ghosts by Kanye West and Kid Cudi. This album starts off immediately with the crazy track entitled Feel the Love. It features Pusha T, which is the only rap verse in the track. Kid Cudi delivers a hook where he repeats the sentence I could still feel the love, which might seem like he having no content to speak on in the hook, but actually it is to shout something off his heart due to the obstacle that he had in the past. Both Kid Cudi and Kanye West suffers from mental illness, where both of them received abysmal backlash from the media due to controversies that they made in the past. Even from the terrible backlash they received, Kid could still feel the love from his loyal fans, families, and Kanye West himself, as they had been friends for a long time since before 2010. Pusha T just expressed a lavish and braggadocious verse about a rich life, and it is still entertaining due to the detailed lyrics and not just empty verse about richness. Kanye delivers a bridge that might seem silly in the first listen, but actually enhances from added listens to another. Here he humble lyrics about grab bread or something like that, and it followed by the instrumental increase in the drum and more layering added to Kanye's hype. This bridge from Kanye intended to imitate the loud backlash to fight with Kid Cudi's trials grit with the love. In the end, the loudness maximized until it ended with a peaceful instrumental and repetition of I Could Still Feel the Love from Kid Cudi, which imprints Kid Cudi successfully forgets the hates he captured and lives peacefully with when he bypasses all the obstacles. It then transitioned with the track entitled Fire. Here the instrumental portrays something like circumstances in Texas where it sounds like a fight of two cowboys in the desert where a tumbleweed passes in the scene. The theme matches perfectly where Kanye is to fight off his rival, who is supposed to be the one backlashing before the initiative from the first track. Kanye started off with challenging his rival where he achieved many stuff in his life, whereas his rival only hits with not much of a benefit. Kanye explained himself to be open-minded and never lied in his conversations, as he believed that the key to a more prolonged suffering is if he lied to himself, just for the satisfied feeling of the fans and not himself. Kid Cudi continued the verse with saying that whenever he felt like the obstacle is hard or harder, he will always return to God for help. Even from the hates and controversies surrounding him, the love he gets, as mentioned from the first track, still back him up and made him strong enough to persevere. Him again elucidate what Kanye explained, but now it is in his side. The haters can just keep hating but will not get the same achievement as theirs. They now won the battle, which now both of them thank God for the result of the fight. Here it transitions to a bright ending of guitar instrumentals, imprints the happy ending from both sides. The next track is an absolute banger which made me hype the most throughout the album. I'm talking about Fourth Dimension, which features insanely blood-thumping production of reverse track that edited to be really nerve-wracking. The added drum beats that are extremely tense which yield to a chaotic atmosphere that still by today, something I am incredibly impressed with. Make sure to take out your earphone maximize volume with this one. As said before, the purpose is to spark chaos in the ear of the listener. Pretty much the side of the album that worth listens without further explanation and just wanted to bump hits. Kanye just talk about lavish lifestyles and some amazing wordplay, even though he can come out silly at times, because some of the silly bars work for Kanye. Kid Cudi also had chaotic lyrics, but he referenced a bit through the journey that he is going through the album, having to deal with depression, and this album imprints the whole journey, including chaotic atmospheres. The next track is also amazing, which is entitled Free, Ghost Town Part 2. They again play with blood thumping drop beats, but now imprints like a rock music. It has a really amazing production as the volume of everything is loud, heck banging, and it makes you feel the experience a lot more. Feels literally like a floating in the sky listening to the whole track. This track is supposed to be the part 2 of Ghost Town, which is the track that Kanye released also that year in 2018. Ghost Town is also a very unique and great song that I still listen to this day. Here Kanye spends the track explaining his stressful life, surrounded by controversies and hatred bandwagons until he becomes sad and depressed for so many times. Kanye was hospitalized for so many times, and he also underwent drug possessions as he was too depressed as he cannot take the hits receiving at one point. He hopes all of the drama is gone and everyone will start loving him as a person, explaining celebrities like him has feelings too. Something though he hope everyone understand. The outro ends with 070 Shade, delivers a wholeheartedly part about she hopes she can be like a kid again, where you are innocent and there is no need for you to be thinking of depression and else. However, when she decided to behave like a kid, even when she is in an adult age, she is feeling free from all the obstacles that hindered herself from happiness. Now, every time she is facing a problem, she will not be affected anymore as she tried her best to forget the dilemma even from the hates from people surrounding her. She also repeats the circumstances of being free from problems, which is the continuation of story to this track. Free goes down part 2, when part 1 is showing the depressed side. Part 2 is the representation of him being free, being jubilant as he can forget the problem he facing. He knew he is going to fail, but God is always there. God will lift him up every time he is failing, which made him feeling relief and happy to realize the appearance of God in his life. He say when finally loving him is a trend, all of his haters will start loving him again, which is a terrible way to view a celebrity as everyone also humans. But in the end of the day, he guesses that just how life goes, and he just thinks positively. As a reference from part 1, he is finally feeling free, having no feeling of worries whenever he is facing a problem. He said he had already contemplating suicide until he realized that it would burn his opportunity to explore music again, which is the thing that made him happy. So he woke up and feeling alive again. This track is great for people who is feeling really down to the most deteriorated pit, as we need to understand just how life goes and goes with it, as people will just keep hating. The next track is the track that holds me spiritually the most. Whenever I am depressed or feeling the worst way possible, this will be the medicine to dwindle the feelings I had. This track, entitled Reborn, which correlates with the previous track where you need to metamorphose with life no matter what. However, things are not as simple as to have thoughts of that's just how life goes, because thinking that just by having the thoughts of forgetting the problems you receive to persevere in life is harder than everyone thinks. This is because only you understand yourself more than everyone else. Kid Cudi said he will move forward, even if he feels like he can't, but he have to. His vocalization shown desperate in his voice, which really relatable for the listener that kind of need to persevere in life even though we really wanted to stop and end it all. This track is really impactful to my life due to continuation of bad result in high school, but in the end of the day I need to forget the sadness and be a new person, persevere with life and try to chase my limit. It's not easy as I am feeling like giving up so many times, but I knew God is always there and God will help me no matter what. Keeping with the thoughts, I receive good result in SPM and continue to metamorphose in life, in UM, and the list goes on. All of these are packed in the hook, which, in my opinion, is the first and maybe the only hook that ever hold me down to a level where I have thoughts like that. Also, followed by Humming from Kid Cudi, which is really peaceful and made me feeling like floating in the sky kind of vibe. Kanye elucidated the problem that he had in the track afterwards. He said something like isolation from people surrounding him, many things that can be explained from this particular verse, like he is not affected by the problems anymore until at one point he wants more of it, even challenging his hater to do it for him. He also explaining that music is the thing that dwindled his depression the most, which is why he put so much effort into it compared to other artists. Kid Cudi went to the hook and harmonizing hums again before delivering his verse. Looking at these lyrics, showing that he has issues, but there's not that much that he can do about it. That's just how life goes. He always felt worthless, often self-attacked by anxiety and else, but the only people that can cheer him is himself, as people surrounding him would not do it, as no one understands him as much as himself. This is him saying that he is feeling the worst time possible. He even involved himself in drug possessions, which just worsened the problem. However, he is telling the listener to never stop and do what he did, as he loved his fans for keep supporting him for all these years. All of this might be the reason why the track is so important in my life and how much impact has it gave to me. The next track is entitled Kid See Ghosts, which showcase an eerie atmosphere correlates with the title Kid See Ghosts. Kid See Ghosts, which is also the title of the album, is to elucidate that even kids can have problems, which correlates with Ghost Town Part 1, where 070 Shake said that she is feeling like a kid again. Even by then, the ghost which supposed to appear occasionally is imprinted as the problems that they had, even though they already tried to forget it. Kid Cudi just made the points he already explained before, but is more precise. And he also showed the journey of this kid and the haunting environment surrounding him. Kanye explained something like he used to try impress the fan the most, but now he wants to impress himself, which result in a better song produced by him later on, as now he keeps on experimenting from one production to another. Many stuff elucidated by him like suicide is not good as he is religious, and he knew God is there to help him and he should never commit sins no matter what. However, he also struggled from day to day to be a better man in his religion as he always put by the beauty of the world, which made him thinking if he can actually pray to God for help. Later on, he just continued his verse talking about all the achievement he had after persevering all the dilemma he has to encounter, which result in him being the richest rapper of all time by far. After all the effort that he put out like easy designs and successful albums, the list goes on. Last but not least, this track is entitled Cudi Montage, which built around the grimy guitar riff from Kurt Cobain's Burn the Rain. Kanye uses it to show the society impact to a celebrity like Kurt Cobain, which died after committing suicide. Kikadi telling himself hoping for help from God as for the burden he handling. He expressed himself the same but more precise lyrics like previous tracks before transitions into the hook. Here, he says, Save me, Lord, and stay strong multiple times, which also followed by hums that happen simultaneously with the repetitions in the hook. This might imprint his trials to stay strong, even how bad the obstacles would come. This hook is really peaceful and sky vibes, which until now is one of my favorite hooks ever. Kanye is talking about problems with gun possessions in America, where they are hoping for peace from everyone, but in fact, gun rules are extremely wobbly, which only dwindle the possibility to achieve peace in the state. He explained all the possibilities of having guns way too easily in America and the impact of the chaos, though everyone just didn't want to realize the elephant in the room. He also correlates it with the feeling of mothers if their son or daughter died to guns violence, showing how violence just worsens America every single day. The hook steps in again, but this time Kanye inserted Lord Shine Your Light on Me, Save Me Please into Cardi's hook, which suits perfectly. In conclusion, I think this album is 10 out of 10 from fun to back and I probably will return to it all the time. I recommend all of you listen to this album even though there might be some considerations like I explained in the title. This is just some rankings I will not explain more thoroughly as I already did. And that's all from me, thank you.